today we are going to be talking about Godzilla versus Kong. Wait, what's the name of this? Godzilla and Kong, the New Empire. Godzilla and Kong, the New Empire is the newest entry in the MonsterVerse series. Kong and Godzilla kind of coexist in their own realms here, in their own territories. But of course, there's a new big evil titan that is shaking up the status quo of the monster of the universe. Now look, this is a completely different kind of movie than Godzilla Minus One, and this movie definitely knows that. It's not trying to be a Godzilla Minus One kind of film, and we are gonna get into all of that with the positives. So right off the bat with this one, this movie knows exactly what it is and why people go to see King Kong and Godzilla in a movie together. If they are not fighting, they better be teaming up together and, I don't know, throwing down with some titans, and they definitely do that in this film. This is the most fun I've ever had in one of these kinds of movies. Not like just a Godzilla movie, but like a monster or anything titan film. Like this is the pinnacle of these movies. There are some insane visuals in this film, some hilarious action that was literally like, I was like in the theater, like, yes, like this is freaking awesome. Like one thing that Kong does with the main villain has to do like something with Godzilla. They do this like kind of hilarious combo attack, and it was just everything I wanted to see in one of these movies. Following up with that, the visuals of this film, incredible. I don't think Godzilla or King Kong have looked better in a film before, and on the action level and on a CGI level, this movie fully delivers. Bringing us into the mixed category, we're gonna talk about the world building here. It is a very mixed aspect of this film. On one hand, you have the exploration of Kong's world in Hollow Earth, and you have Godzilla on Earth, the surface of Earth, and he kind of coexists here, he exists here, and Kong exists in Hollow Earth, and so they have their two realms there, their two territories. They don't really mess with each other, and that's fine because it keeps the status quo of everything like flat. They know that they're equals, they don't really mess with each other, and they're just gonna keep it that way. That works so well on a story level, developing and fleshing out really what these, like, about the monsters, because you want to see, when you go to a Godzilla and Kong movie, you want to see Godzilla and you want to see King Kong. Truly, with this one, especially this movie, really fleshes out Kong's world and his habitat, kind of gets into his family a little more like Kong Skull Island did, adds a new layer of it, keeps things fresh. I was very entertained with it. The reason that the world building is in the mixed category of the film, unfortunately, this movie is not just King Kong and Godzilla. There are the human characters. We're gonna get more into them like in the negative part of this video because my gosh, this bad. The world building of the humans, like leaving that their whole plot line or whatever, like how it expands on characters from the previous MonsterVerse movies, that part of it doesn't feel connected. It doesn't feel like they really have anything to do here, that they need to be here, and we're just missing characters from the other movies that's not really explained, other than the fact that we know that either these actors were too busy to return, or they got too big to return, Millie Bobby Brown, or they just didn't want to, Millie Bobby Brown. It just feels a little odd, but again, you don't really go to a King Kong Godzilla movie for the human characters, because only a psycho would do that, because why would you do that? And finishing off this video with the negatives, this is where we're really gonna focus in on the humans. Spoiler alert, they're not necessary. Comparatively with this monster series to newest like Planet of the Apes trilogy or quadrilogy, those movies, and even the very original Planet of the Apes, handled the apes and the humans like very well. It felt like the juxtaposition between them, like that was part of the story. These movies, especially these later ones, they don't really need the humans, and they're not writing them like well at all. So I don't really know why this movie couldn't have just gone like full on, we're just doing monsters, we're just gonna build on their lore. Both Godzilla and Kong have development, and they have a storyline, and they have a plot arc, and so I think they could have just taken the humans and just like push it somewhere else. Speaking of plot arcs, I felt like Godzilla was underutilized in this movie. This movie focuses more heavily on, it's not really a spoiler, but it focuses more heavily on Kong. When it cuts to Godzilla's storyline, I mean, he gets like not nearly as much screen time as Kong and these stupid humans that don't need to be in the movie. It feels uneven. It feels odd when you have like someone as formidable and as big as Godzilla, who's the first name in this movie and started this whole universe, to not have as much screen time or as much to do in his own movie. Now, closing this one out, I enjoyed this movie for what it was, a monster titan beat 'em up kind of action film. It's not gonna win any Oscars. It's not gonna be talked about by summertime, but by now you know what to expect from these films, and this movie kind of ups it a little bit and delivers much more than Kong vs. Godzilla did, and especially Godzilla, King of Monsters. I did not like those two like really at all. I will say easily still the strongest movie in the MonsterVerse is the first Godzilla. Just the way that they went about that film, I know it got a lot of hate because they played it in a way where Godzilla was more masked and didn't really come out until the end. It cut away from a lot of fights, but there was still something so artistically, artfully done in that movie where there was that shroud of mystery, and there were some amazing, incredible scenes and shots, and there was just like, that movie felt elevated in a sense, storytelling wise, than the rest. It almost feels like it's in a different universe than the rest of these movies. Godzilla and Kong, The New Empire is good because it fully goes into like, this is a beat 'em up. You're gonna get the action, you're gonna get all of the fights and crazy monsters and things like that that you could ever want in one of these movies, but it doesn't hold the same weight as like the 2014 Godzilla. It still does not feel as good of a movie to me. Now, I could be a minority there, I could be wrong. Maybe a reception to this one is gonna be much better than that one. We'll see. Let me know all of your thoughts about this movie in the comments. Please be sure to like and subscribe, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Instagram, on Twitter. I post shorter review videos on Instagram and Twitter that are about a minute long, very much faster than this if you just want a quick review of it, at J Carter Movies, Instagram, TikTok. And then just more of my thoughts as well on Twitter, just some random stuff on there. All that being said, I'm gonna give Godzilla and Kong, The New Empire a 6.5 out of 10. And on a see it, stream it, or skip it, I'm gonna go with stream it. Sound off below in the comments. Did you agree with my video? Did you love the movie? Did you hate it? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm right? Leave all of that below. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and I'll see you all on the next one.